Sponsored by Degenerates Like You. What's happening, everybody? It's Comedy by Coincidence. And I think it's episode 126. Hey. How's it going? It's your boy Chris Davis.
And it's time.
And this is Comedy by Coincidence, bro. And I feel like we're coming in with equal but opposite energies as far as the location is concerned, bro. How are you doing?
Living my Sherlock Holmes dreams here in Glasgow, Scotland. Just the setup seemed it was better earlier. The sun was better.
No, I dig it. It's kind of like it's very moody.
It is very moody. It's nice. I got moody skies. I got the mood lighting. You know what I mean? We're about to uncover the deep secrets of the universe here.
Deep.
Talk about
murky water.
First encounters.
Yeah. You look like you're ready for an interrogation. For sure. Like, you're the guy, okay, when somebody walks into the house, lights are all off. They go to turn on the first light, and you beat them to it. You turn that lamp on, and like, hello, Charles. I don't know. Anyways.
Hello, Charles. Shall we talk about yesterday's brief?
Yeah, right. So, you're in... I like how when you go to a new place, you fully commit to the new place. You're trying to engulf in the culture where you can. I know you're working stiff, so you ain't got all the time to go hit the locations, but you embody the personality. I love it. I love it, buddy.
Thank you. Try my best. Some weeks it gets the better of me, though. Some weeks I have to just stay inside.
Right, Mexico? Mexico will do that to you,
Mexico was the work was impinging on the free time more than I liked, so it was better just to stay close.
Same for the diarrhea, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go very far.
Oh yeah,
the you know what I'm saying?
Well, see, the thing, nobody likes to admit it, but in Mexico they got the giant ferns.
Right.
Most of them are picked clean. You know what I mean? So it's like in an emergency, you find yourself a plant and you do what you got to do.
Desperate times call for desperate measures,
not going
man.
with me on that one.
No, sorry, we were taking care of a sound problem real quick. Sorry. My attention is pretty limited.
That's fair. That's fair.
Fuck, dude. So, I made gooey butter weed cookies, and they're delicious. I made gooey butter weed cookies because gooey butter cookies are like a St. Louis staple. Holy shit, he's gonna die.
No, I'm alive. I'm just trying not to cough in the mic. You're good.
I get it. Hey, happens.
Gooey butter cookies, like no bake cookies, like all in a pan cookies.
You've
'Cause,
never
like, I
had
remember that.
okay. You would know what a gooey butter cookie is if you've had one, because there's nothing like them, bro. You ever had gooey butter cake?
Gooey butter. That sounds. It sounds like a gas station pastry that I've had before.
It's not quite
Like
it's
an
really
ooey
good.
gooey.
Yeah. And say that again.
Ooey gooey. Like I think that's the name of it. Where it's a butter cake. It's like a little flat square, maybe a 1/4 inch thick, 2 inches by 2 inches, sold in.
Yeah, and it's a
So-
little.
Yeah, you're
7-Elevens?
thinking of the cake, like the cake squares.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sometimes they make.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
depending on where you get it, sometimes it is and sometimes it is not a true gooey butter cookie or cake. Like, sometimes it's like a
Okay.
glorified pound cake. So keep that in mind.
keep that in mind. When you get further out of St. Louis, they become more of a traditional cake. But these
they
are
short the butter.
they short the
what it
butter,
comes
bro.
with. Alright,
You put it's like a shit ton of butter, butter yellow cake mix, and think of it. You can make it as a cake, but my mom has a special recipe that makes them into cookies. Okay, not
Okay.
just
Wait,
my
wait,
mom,
wait,
both
hold on.
both of my moms. Okay, so
Can we try something real quick?
yeah.
All right, I want you to imagine that you are an audio descriptive service for the blind, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing a commercial for, and you don't have to say which, one of the mom's cookies, the better one.
They're pretty
right?
similar. They're pretty similar. They turn out almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh, in that
Ken can-
in that case, well, kudos to the cooks. But could you like give me with your words a visual of these cookies? Because right now I'm thinking of a mess in a pan, and you just
no.
ball them out.
No,
You
no,
know
no,
what I
No,
mean?
no, 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 no. Individually rolled and dipped in powdered sugar before they go into the oven.
Okay, and
They're
it's a
fluffy.
yellow cake mix
They're golden.
cookie. They're fluffy, golden. Yeah, go on.
They're very doughy on the inside and very flaky on the outside.
Here,
It's a
keep
very
talking.
soft cookie. So kind of melts in your mouth is kind of the texture that you like want to go for here. So very pillowy cloud of a cookie. Just
Okay.
the worst
So
thing
it's like-
for you, but absolutely decadent.
Okay. And then like, all right, when you say flaky on the outside, are we talking like croissant flake or just like the powdered sugars playing with your mind?
No,
like
no, no.
a powdered
like,
donut flaky?
It cracks lightly on the outside like a fresh baked bread, but it's really not at all hard on any part of the cookie except the bottom. So Christopher is going to give you a little visual so that you can see specifically what we're talking.
So it's like a soft crust, like
Yeah, you can see the
like
flake.
a
They just melt in your fucking mouth. Okay.
Yeah, it's immaculate.
Let's see if I can find
Okay.
a really pretty one. That one was good because it had
That had a lot of powdered sugar on it.
Okay. So then like when these come out of the oven, are they still, I mean, they can't still be in ball form, so they're like little, do
No,
they
they-
end up in cookie shape?
Yeah, they're
They
flat
come out
discs.
looking like this, but I will say they are much doughier when they come out. So like, I ate like 10 when they were coming out of the
Yeah,
oven, bro.
and unlike some cookies, they stay because of the butter content. They stay about a ½ inch thick, so they're
Okay.
they're a nice dense cookie. And again, just
Ooh.
absolutely terrible for you. It's got like a whole brick of cream cheese, like a whole cup of butter, and like powdered sugar. Terrible for you. Absolutely delicious.
But those are the best cookies. Like
Oh yeah,
like
undeniable.
my coworkers, a couple, not all of them, because they haven't witnessed this skill yet, but some of the ones I've traveled with have noticed that if you want a fucking good cookie, I can guide you to the source without even thinking about it. I can just walk around and find the best cookie in the city, right? So
That's a
it's
skill.
like, from your description, that sounds like a solid cookie, and I've been avoiding the sweets. So you're giving me the sugar humps,
the sugar cravings. I'm sorry, buddy.
the
but
cravings.
You ain't gonna find a gooey butter cookie unless you're in St. Louis. Now, I think.
Oh no, they don't use butter like that here.
No, not in Europe. But Anyways, I think I perfected the recipe by adding. I went half and half regular butter and weed butter, and I gotta say they're fucking delicious. So spot on.
But does the special butter affect the taste like it does other edibles?
A little bit, but in a good way, and you hardly taste it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good medium. If I'd
Okay.
done full weed butter, I bet they would have turned out green, which might have been cool. But these were good.
Okay.
Starts
little
throwing up
zang
on the
to the butter
podcast.
taste.
Yeah. Eats one, starts vomiting profusely.
What
on
was
here.
that, Ty?
What'd you say? Yeah. I'd like you to repeat that last statement.
The butter with the little zang.
Yeah, okay.
I was talking about the cookie,
Okay.
and yeah,
Okay. Salted or
And then-
unsalted butter? Go.
Salted.
dude, what are we cooking though? What are we cooking?
Right? I don't know.
Because if you're doing a recipe that requires salt, do the unsalted. You know what I mean? Get the
Okay,
proper
hold
amount
on.
of salt in whatever you're doing.
That's not
Even
always
though
a safe
the-
bet. That is,
The amount
trust
of
me.
salt in the butter is not going to change much.
No, trust me though. I've
She's a
Depending on
cookie
what you make.
aficionado.
even if it says use unsalted butter, I've had it lack zest. It turns out better with the salted 90% of the time.
And I need a zesty cookie.
Interesting.
Like even they don't know what they're talking about. You gotta go salted. If you're unsure, salted is almost always a safer bet.
And just throwing this
Okay.
out there, happy to have Dr. Evil with us today. Shout out to the producer extraordinaire who takes care of our legal problems, does the sound bits, and rocks. You
Well,
know?
I mean,
What the
I think
dog
we
doing?
might have a butter problem here. But because like, all right, so you're for salted butter.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I
In a
think we're
big
Now,
batch.
do you guys have a favorite brand of butter? Because I got a favorite brand of butter. It's Kerrygold's, that Irish shit.
Ooh,
Agreed.
Yeah, that's
I
really
agree
good.
wholeheartedly. It is the better quality butter. I do not spring for it more often than not, but objectively, you are correct.
We go through a lot of butter
Okay.
in this house. We're a couple butter brains, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It shows in the
all right.
sizes.
So you're not a margarine household because
Nah.
I can't stand those households.
No. Only if the recipe for like Christmas cookies needs. I end up getting. No, I'm thinking of shortening. Sorry. Haha.
I'm thinking shortening. In a pinch, I'll use it. It is, again, objectively not the correct answer to that question, though.
Did you know you can really style your hair with like Crisco shortening? Like I'm talking, get the
Can
real,
and should.
can get those real good angles and
Different
stuff.
things.
As
Anyways,
an official judge of the watermelon wrestling in at the Boy Scout camp I worked at from, I believe it was 2015 to 2018. I gotta say, you could do anything you want with Crisco. You know.
oh, that's smart. You lube the watermelon up with Crisco, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, lubed it up with Crisco. Have 3/4 of a can to play with. You could use it as if you're a good enough fisherman, you could use it as bait. Pranks galore with it. I mean, oh my god. You know, have you ever tried putting up a canoe that's been greased by Crisco? It's impossible. It
Impossible.
sucks.
That sounds terrible. Jesus Christ. We played a game growing up called Pumpkin Ball, where we would take like canola oil and lube up a pumpkin, and then play touch football with it. Which was, I mean,
Okay.
it was fun. That was some good times.
So, to
Few
answer your
concussions.
question,
Uh.
not exactly on the canoe, but we have a frame of reference to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah, okay. It's I've never heard of pumpkin ball before, so it's like I'm
We
going
played
through
it
my
at your
childhood and then
house.
We really did.
We really did. That's okay. Maybe it was our house at that
well,
point.
no, I'm just comparing your childhood from mine, and I realized we never had a pumpkin. You know, it was like the pumpkins were there for decoration or destruction. There was no like, foreplay with it.
Right.
It was straight to the mutilation.
Also, shout out for the police station up the street for not giving a shit for throwing a greased pumpkin at each other.
There were plenty of times they really should have given a shit,
Yeah, they would have been within their right on that one, I think.
Shout out for making it out of the Warrensburg. What? Let's halt the podcast.
No. It's. I was just. Are you doing more with that? Because I was going to change the topic a little bit.
Fuck no. Let's get off it.
Topic change. Do you remember a story or an experience with your parents where they gave you something and then within like the hour they realized they never should have?
Yes, but let me think of a specific time. I'm sure it's happened. My soul's telling me yes.
They gave me something and immediately were like, I shouldn't have given this guy. I mean, I kept getting more, so I wouldn't say that one. I would say the ability to drive my dad's car, and I wouldn't say it was immediately, but I do remember like not too long after the fact, I brought it home one night, drove through the yard, which was normal. Okay, that wasn't the problem because we have a long driveway, and you don't want to repark four fucking cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I drive through the yard and I'm pulling in, and my spot was right next to my dad's boat. So I'm driving my dad's Volkswagen Bug, going to park next to his fucking boat, and I drive his Bug into his boat trailer, and like scratch the living fuck out of it. Just like take out a chunk of the fender. All while he was doing dishes and there's a window at my parents' sink where he can look out and see the Bug and so he watched me ram his fucking Volkswagen into his boat, and I was like, oh my god. I think I was smoking a cigarette too, which I wasn't out of the closet on smoking cigarettes with them yet, so I just see in the window and just his eyes big and going, what the fuck, I'm like, oh, I have like 2 seconds to put this smoke out and make it look like it never happened. But oh yeah, I got my ass beat that night. Yeah, it was not good. What about you, bud?
Okay. My thing is I was probably 6-7 years old. That makes my sisters 10, 12. We'll just go with those numbers.
Sure.
My parents, they bought a video camera for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the family to record events and stuff. And this was shortly after Christmas, before school started, where, my sister started filming it. Me being the 7-year-old, alone, I joined in. And then within 30 seconds, first day using it, an argument exploded about like who gets to press the button or something. So it's my dad's at work, my mom's in the house, and it was just pure 3 hard of hearing kids yelling at each other, throwing shit, all about this video camera. And it was the first day using it. And then my mom was just like, nope. We're returning this to the store. We are now a movies family. We're going to just watch TV. We're not making DVDs anymore. We're watching them.
Nice.
You know what I mean? We are not creators.
Well, way to fuck up future family memories, buddy. Damn. Well, we're not a recorded family, huh?
Hey, in my defense, there were 3 people involved in this argument. I was just one of them.
That's right, sisters. What you gonna do?
I feel like in my house it was all like information based. Like they said something or they like expressed something and then realized in short order thereafter that was a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go.
So like I remember distinctly we were really busy, my brother and I, and so I was driving home with my mother and my father was watching my brother, and someone cut us off on the way into the neighborhood, and she goes, "Nice move, dickwad," and I was like, yes, this is a game changer of a word. I lit up. I'm sitting there next to her. I'm going, Dick Wad. Dick Wad. And she was like, no. She backpedaled so hard. And then for my brother, so my dad would always take to wedgieing my brother because he'd have his pants down too low.
He'd be sagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hated it. And so he'd go, if I can see him, I'm pulling him. And it used to annoy my brother to no end. And at one point, here's where he messed up. They're in the Home Depot checkout line. And my dad goes for it. And my brother is like, he's like
What the
5. He's
fuck?
like, what are you doing? You can't do that. And he goes, that's the rule, right? And
Them's
he
the
turns to the
rules.
cashier and she goes, oh, yeah, that's the rule. Because what's she going to do?
Right.
You know, she doesn't get paid enough to know how to handle this situation. So, yeah, she agrees. Later that very week, my dad gets a call home from my brother's teacher saying, so I wanted to discuss your son. He wedgied another student, and he said that you told him that that's the rule.
Them's the rules, dude. And he's like,
he had some explaining to do up at my brother's school. So Chip tried to teach a lesson, and he ended up learning a lesson that day. Shout out.
Well, that's what you get for being a fucking bully. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, Chippy. At Home Depot?
That poor cashier. I bet she still thinks about that.
Them's the rules, you know, yeah. Oh, shit. Well, you guys want to do some comedy news? I got some to pull forth from the
Go for it.
nethers if we want to switch gears. Comedy news, yes or yes, yes. Yes. So I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast, but this has been going on for months on end. Maybe even years at this point. Who fucking knows? STL PD, and I'm gonna call it like it is. STL PD cannot drive. They're hitting everybody and everything, and nobody's safe, man. That's all. Like, and the latest one. Here, I'm gonna pull up the article. Dr. Evil sent it to me. Give me just a second. This comes on the heels of them running their police cars through the glass of businesses in the area, local businesses with no problems, and then arresting the owners for questioning what the fuck was going on. That happened just a month or two ago. Yeah, that was terrible. I might even have to go pull up the article because it was bad.
It
was
made
a local
national news, that one.
It was a local LGBTQ.
What was it?
Bar.
STLPD Donut Requisition Division.
Got him.
What's the business they ran into? There's
That's-
a joke there.
It was a donut shop. No, it was like an LGBTQ friendly bar that was ran by some LGBTQ plus people, right? And
they lived upstairs, so like they came down to see what happened.
see what
and
the
they got
fuck
arrested.
happened and got arrested for asking questions. Let me see here. Okay. Riverfront Times. St. Louis police hit a church sign and then covered their tracks. Straight up. That's the headline. STL police hit a church sign and then covered their tracks. Westminster Presbyterian Church had no idea what destroyed its sign until a neighbor came forward with evidence. Reverend Mark Miller discovered that the century-old welcome sign in front of his church had been destroyed last August. In August, by the way. Initially assumed it was vandalism. South City, could be anybody, right?
Yeah.
Would have been the first time Westminster Church was targeted. Just a year before, it was more than a dozen windows and door of the building in St. Louis. Skinker DeBol. Wow, what a fucking word. How do you say that?
DeBoliver.
No, you don't. That's how DeBoliver. I'm sure it is how you say it, but Jesus Christ. Neighborhood had been broken.
Trust me.
That's
Mom
one
reminded
word,
me
by the way.
recently.
That's fucking
Yeah.
retarded.
She reminded me recently because I backtracked a little bit, and she goes, "No, say it with your chest." You got to be loud and wrong out here.
He also noted that the Pride flag and Black Lives Matter flag in front of the church disappeared this time. Didn't seem like a coincidence. Miller noted, soon after the sign's destruction, Miller noted the circumstances. Tire tracks were visible heading towards the sign, and no swerve marks suggested the crash was unintentional. But if someone crashed into the brick edifice with a vehicle, they'd also taken a care to clean up. The crazy thing is there was no debris from a car, he told the Daily. It wasn't until a neighbor got in touch that Miller learned about something even crazier. The vehicle that hit the sign had been an STL police SUV, one of their giant fucking Escalades. That's exactly how it reads in here. But rather than reach out to explain what happened, hey, their words, not mine, you know? Rather than reach out to explain what happened, much less apologize, police cleared the scene and then failed to communicate anything. Proof came from the neighbor who's lived across the street for 6 years. Gonzalez had gotten used to car crashes. It happens so often, we just... Whatever. Jesus Christ, I need to, highlight this shit beforehand. Gonzalez shared his photos with Miller a few days after the crash. Miller says at that point he had been trying for this part fucking makes me laugh, dude. STLPD is kind of scumbags. That's all I'm saying here. Miller says at this point he had been trying for days to get a police officer to come out and take a report. To no avail. He waited one night for hours. You never once had anyone suggested the police might be the source of the damage. Now what might surprise someone not accustomed to dealing with STLPD is that even after Miller had photographic evidence that a police vehicle was to blame, the city continued to give him the runaround. So, bro, he would call and be like, hey, I'm just trying to report my sign got driven into. I don't know. Can somebody come out here and take a report? And they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think they said they ended up after a couple of months saying, yeah, it was a big failure.
Go talk to the mayor about it. And he's trying, and now he's suing them / they're going to settle on something. But
part of me, it's a bad situation, but part of me can't help but giggle at whoever it is in the department who, when it becomes apparent to them that they can no longer keep feigning ignorance, they have to say something about that. The deep sigh that this person must take and being like, what are all of the possible ways that this car could have ended up in this position?
Okay, that was from this week. I'm going to cite the other news one that I talked about earlier. This happened in December. A police SUV slammed into a bar in St. Louis. Police respond strong scrutiny. St. Louis police are pledging a thorough investigation after a police SUV slammed into a bar. Supporters of the bar question why one of the owners was arrested in the aftermath of the accident, while the officer in the SUV were not tested for intoxication. No one was hurt when the police car struck the front of Bar PM in South STL, but the front window was smashed. Video footage released Wednesday. The attorney of the bar owner showed that he said was the same police SUV running a red light seconds before the crash. That's kind of funny. Ran a red light, ended up in the window of a bar. Anyways, going on. Another video showed the SUV suddenly veering into the building. Message left Thursday with police was not immediately returned. Yeah, they're not returning anybody's calls. Anyways. Chad Morris, who owned the bar with his husband, was arrested and charged with assault and resisting arrest for allegedly striking an officer after the crash, then trying to run away. He was released from jail on Tuesday. Supporters packed the bar that night. Police Lieutenant Colonel said during a news briefing Wednesday that the officers involved in the crash were not tested for drugs or alcohol because other officers at the crash scene did not have reasonable suspicion for toxicology testing. Both officers have less than a year of experience with the department and remain on active duty. We would like to ensure to the owners of the bar and the community that every aspect of this incident is being thoroughly investigated.
Well, and I don't know if they say it in the article, but like the excuses that they gave was trying to avoid hitting a parked car, thought he saw a dog in the road, like, and there was another one. I forget what the last one was, but like the street footage showed that like there was one car on the whole street and there was no dog anywhere nearby. So like I imagine the person who's like sitting there with any given officer when this happening, taking a deep breath and being like, was anything anywhere in your vicinity? I think there was a car.
Well,
Did you swerve to hit the car? Maybe.
Yes. Give me anything I can
Was
tell
there?
the people.
Did a dog run into the street? Maybe. No, there was no dog.
I
Damn it.
just. It sounds like it's the same fucking guy, the same cop driving into shit. You know what I mean?
Either that or these
it's-
vehicles that they're buying for the PD are just plumb awful.
Also, it seems like every one of these is a cop that's been there for less than a year. You know what I'm saying? It's all. First of all, they're not getting numbers of police. It's not like people are trying to get hired to be a police officer in droves right now. It's not like the most fucking desirable job, right? Especially in STL. So the ones they are getting, I guess, can't drive. We're getting some 14-year-olds who play GTA just to like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just also on the flip side wondering how stupid are these people. Like, I don't mean to say, well, no, I mean stupid. How stupid are you to call the cops to file a complaint against the cops? They ain't never showing up, bitch. You need a lawyer.
Okay, I'm just gonna read this one. December 2nd, 2022.
Well, to be fair, in the direct quote, in the direct quote for the church one, he was saying he did try to go through the appropriate channels, and then that didn't
They
work.
just kept
so then
giving
they had
him
to
the
take-
runaround.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was more for posterity's sake than anything else, just to be like no gotchas. But yeah, no, past a certain point, once he found out, it's like okay, man. Anyway,
Hazelwood police chief to retire quietly after video of him driving hammered drunk. Just throwing these out there, you know.
Yeah. Doing the most American thing you can think of.
One killed in crash involving car being chased by STL PD. Let's see. That was
Wait. With that police chief, like same
no,
police chief
no.
driving drunk?
No,
Oh,
that was a separate story. I looked up
okay.
STLPD driving just to see what the fuck would happen. I'm just seeing how many of
Gotcha.
these. Most of them are still talking about the bar owner. So I wanted to see how much, you know.
Well, it hits a lot of big ticket issues.
Yeah. We're gonna get some comments on this one. That's great. You know, and hey, it is a dangerous, shitty job. So you know, those who do it well and do it responsibly, thank you. Those of you who are asshole cops, you got people coming out. There's a checks and balances, bro. Just don't be a shitty cop. You know, that's what it comes down to.
Well,
Checks
yeah.
and balances, baby. That's what this country is founded on. That's the most American shit we could have. Is some checks and balances, babe. Let the public balance something, you know.
you would
Yeah.
It's a good theory.
Oh.
It's a good theory.
Oh. He. Ha. Hoo ha. Ha ha ha. Ha. What a good comedy podcast. I'm laughing today. Let's get some more comedy
I don't know.
news. Do we got any other comedy news?
I mean, I didn't really see anything of note.
The big note today: STLPD cannot drive. That's what I wanted to get across.
Alrighty. What I have is Taylor Tomlinson dropped a new Netflix special that's once again all about mental health. But you know, she's pretty to look at, so there's that. But it's also funny, so there's that.
Damn, bro.
So I would check it out.
Wasn't Taylor Tomlinson
let me
talking
see
about
here.
getting out of the game recently?
I have a feeling.
He might not have heard you.
I mean, it's about to be special season. We approaching it. It's starting slowly. So
I thought Rosebud Baker just dropped a new special, but I'm not finding it. Maybe it drops. Maybe
I thought she was dropping it on YouTube.
That might be it.
Once spring starts.
Maybe that's
Thought she
what
had
I'm
a little
thinking.
ways to go.
Maybe she was just announcing it that I heard. That's why I had to go look it up. I am not seeing it. So that's coming
Louis
out.
C.K. Louis C.K. has a new special on his website for the purchase price of $5. It's the Return to the Garden, Return to Madison Square Garden show. So
That sounds fun.
if you want to watch a disgraced comedian excel at his craft, you can pay $5 for it. What else?
What else?
Comedy news.
Comedy news. Things that make us laugh that we find in the news. Hey, if you guys find any comedy news, I want to say you can send it into comedybycoincidence@gmail.com. And we'll say it on the show, man. Help us out. Especially on these days we sort of do our we did do our homework. You came with one, I came with one. We tried to do stuff, you know. We tried to do stuff. Let's see. Did we ever talk about Ryan Sickler's got a new podcast? No, he's got a new one out that's totally worth listening, and it's a short one. If you're not into like long form podcasts, it's about 20 to 30 minutes. It's nice and digestible with a different guest every time. It's called The Way Back, and it's kind of a nostalgia podcast. I don't know, it's fun to listen to. I've enjoyed it. I love me some Ryan Sickler, so check it out. You know, if you need a shorter podcast to check out, obviously go check out our podcast, right? You know, but if you're sick of me and Ty droning on, go check out Great Storyteller.
All right. Chris.
Yeah, that's my name.
Do you have a Savage of the Week this week? It is your turn.
Have I ever shouted? You know what? I'm going to do it. Dylan Dunnigan from the Winks is one of my favorite STL local musicians, and I just saw him and the Winks play a show last night. And God, that guy couldn't be a more supportive, more nice, more what's the teaching, but like a more gracious teacher. You know what I mean? In all forms of rock and roll to me and the rest of my band. So, Dylan, Savage of the Week. If you haven't heard of this gentleman yet, go check out his band, The Winks, on all social media or YouTube or streaming services, man, because they're a killer band. It's my drummer Alex Ward's other band, and I'm talking about their lead singer and main guitarist, man. He's
mad
a rocker,
love, mad
dude.
respect.
And such a nice dude. So thank you for always being super nice to us and being supportive, and mad love and respect to you, brother. Because he is a savage. That dude can command a crowd like I've never seen. He's fucking killer. So, also, shout out to his pants, because I've only ever seen him wear the same pair of red pants at every show I've ever played or seen him play. So, those red pants are the real savage. Anyways.
We're speculating whether it's one pair of pants or whether he's got like a backup pair on deck.
I was like, you think he washes them in between?
No, not a chance. That's why they're red.
It's got all the rock and roll voodoo in it from every show. But rock on.
Excellent. Congratulations, Dylan.
Awesome show. Also, check out Native Steak, because they fucking rock too. They're another bunch of homies of ours. And they played a tremendous show last night too. So
Wait,
and
don't you have a gig to plug? Plug that gig.
I am playing with both of them at Blueberry Hill, St. Louis on April 6th. Woo, 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 woo. Right? Forgiving Tree returning to Blueberry Hill. And we got a couple other shows in the works too. We're doing our first out-of-town show the weekend after, April 13th in Cape Girardeau,
Awesome.
which I don't think anybody's ever been that excited to say Cape Girardeau. Woo, woo! You know what I'm saying? But
I got some coworkers from down there. It's a all right place.
yeah, I got some family from down there. It's a little, it's like the southern side of Missouri, and honestly, they like rock and roll down there, so we'll do just fine.
Excellent. Where are you going? Just in Cape Girardeau, or is there a
It's
specific
in
spot?
Cape Girardeau, and it's called the Rude Dog Pub, I think. So it's gonna be a good time. Come on down, April 13th, if you're in southern Missouri or around the Cape area. You know.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what I got for right now. There's stuff in the works, but I cannot announce any of it. So, and then the great rebranding is coming. I always like saying that, but you got to keep watching to figure out what the fuck's going to happen. Just like we got to keep showing up to figure out what's going to happen. You know, so just wait for the corporate bigwigs to come in. All of a sudden, you'll see we have like a game show or something crazy. It's going to be kind of weird. So, stay tuned. It's not going to, for the moment, it's going to stay exactly how you love it.
Okay, Burger
Unless you
King,
don't.
go off.
And then, let's see. Forgiving Tree. You got to go listen to this new album, Odd
On
Future,
some
man.
Men's Warehouse type.
It's a
You-
great fucking
You're
album.
gonna
Man.
love the way it sounds.
You're going to love the way it sounds. Yeah, that's what do you have to lose? Try my product. You know what I'm saying? Like, please try my product.
I'm so glad that infomercial is getting the recognition
Yeah,
it deserves
it's a
again.
good one.
I've thought about it every day for the past 20 years. It has never left my thoughts.
Please try my product. So, Forgiving Tree. Go check it out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all the places you listen. And if you want a CD, the only place you can buy one right now is at a live Forgiving Tree show. So come out April 6th, man. Blueberry Hill, St. Louis. I think the show's at 8. So, pop out. Mad love and respect. We got anything else to talk about? How's Glasgow? You know, how long are you there for?
I'm in Glasgow until 9 days from now. So I don't next Tuesday. Not the coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday.
Rock on. Bro,
And then yeah.
oh my god. I know what we haven't talked about. So the Super Bowl happened. Yeah, no, I don't think he's heard about this shit. I gotta tell him.
You're about to end on a sour note, though?
I guess we can go a little longer, but I gotta say something. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
just
Like,
be-
Jesus Christ.
be
we'll keep it brief
respectful.
and respectful because I'm devastated. Okay?
Do we need to save this for next time and have it be a longer thing? Because you're devastated, and it sounds like you got a lot of feelings to get off your chest.
You're going to, too. I'm going
Uh,
to let you sit just like I had to sit until, you know, I could talk to you
Fair
about it
enough,
right
fair
here,
enough.
right? But, so, okay, did you hear how the Super Bowl went?
Overtime.
Yeah.
Chiefs won.
Yeah.
With Taylor Swift support, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a corporate hellscape is what the Super Bowl is, and it's I mean that's
There was a
all I
lot
know.
of speculation on it being a conspiracy that they won in overtime. Da 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 da.
Also, Joe Biden was on one.
Also, Joe
afterward.
Biden was on when he immediately after the Super Bowl, he posted to his Twitter, his official fucking blue check mark Twitter. It was like Dark Brandon, and it was a meme of
Like
him.
almost like we wrote it or something like that.
Yeah, he
and
said-
it was a picture of like Dark Brandon.
Almost like we scripted. It was a picture of him with red eyes, like shine, like it was crazy, bro.
And it was still up several days later, so like they meant it.
They meant that shit, bro. They said that shit with their chest. Okay, and
Interesting.
Okay, that's not the sad part.
that's
Anyway.
not the sad part. I'm St. Louis, and I can get behind the KC winning stuff. I was happy for them. I have a lot of friends over there. We both do.
Yeah.
So Wednesday they were
Yeah.
supposed to have their Super Bowl parade.
Oh, that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. What
Okay,
happened
you
there.
did hear about it. Okay. Yeah, there was a crazy shooting at the parade, and one person was killed and multiple were injured. I had a couple of friends who were at the parade. I had one that was like maybe 10 he said 10 yards behind him. It was wild, bro. So, and then the person who passed was a local public radio DJ for Kansas City. So, just fucking
So there's
terrible.
a job opening, right? Too insensitive?
Yeah, that was a little tough, but that's okay. It'll come out a week later. Shout out to her because she was a savage too. You know, I think her name was Lisa.
So, like, was this a glory seeker incident? Was it
no,
a
it was.
retaliation?
I think it was a drunk bullshit situation.
It was a drunk bullshit situation.
Yeah, with like groups of people getting mad at each other and somebody in there just popping off. You know.
See, this is why if you're gonna roll strapped, maybe skip the large scale public events.
Yeah, or it's also
You know
like
what I
the
mean?
guys who know jujitsu and like have to, you know, really think about if they're gonna fucking hop into something. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. It's
guys, you really
I-
don't want to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, please don't
It's-
fuck with me. You're bringing it like I can't be held accountable and stuff like that. You know,
Well,
so.
Yeah, it's just one of those like fucking. What are you thinking going to a large scale event with a gun? Like, because you're thinking of safety, right? But
Yeah.
the safest thing to do is to sit home and watch that shit on TV. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you're scared of what somebody else might do, why are you entering into a large crowd
Don't
of
go.
somebody else?
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. But anyways, we'll keep it brief, man. My heart
But-
goes out to
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
in KC, man, and
But my heart reaches out. As the politicians say, thoughts and prayers.
mad love and
And
respect.
mad love and respect, as we say.
Okay, and then before I'm out of here, let's see. Damn, I really didn't want to end on a bad note. That's my bad, guys. Call Me by Coincidence Gooey Butter Cookies going on sale sometime. Watch out. Okay, look up Gooey Butter Cookie recipe and try them out. Straight up, guys. And if you're really crazy, throw some weed butter in there. I'll get you through the week. Ty, I love you, brother. Good luck on getting through Glasgow. When are you back in the U.S.?
March 27th, 26th,
Aw, dude.
27th.
Dude, you're getting there.
I'm in Seattle by April. I know that much.
Rock on. Hear that, Mr. and Mrs. Ty's mom and dad? He's coming to see you, baby.
They're where we had our quarterly conversation the other day, so
Good. They must have heard the last podcast.
you know,
and
it's-
were like, oh, shit.
it's gonna be a silent 2 weeks while I'm there because we can't converse. You know, once a quarter is once a quarter, mom. So you know,
You got
lot of
that,
body
or-
language
It's
happening.
nods in the hallway exclusively.
No. I'll jump off the boat every morning. swim. You know what I mean? Like I got to stick to my principles.
Join the other sea lions out there. Sorry.
Maybe,
Was that too
maybe,
far? Was that
no.
too far? I changed it to sea lions from walruses for you, bud.
I appreciate it because that's what they are.
Right. I wanted to be geographically accurate.
Exactly. Some people are real sticklers about that because they
Yeah.
understand
Fuck
that
you guys in the
walruses
comments.
could mean some ivory money.
Yeah. And when Ty sings "I am the walrus," he means it. I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. This is not how I wanted to end the podcast, guys. God damn it!
Mad love and respect.
Dr. Evil's been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption, guys. Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically, and yeah, Arthur Morgan, the main character, will just rip fucking... You know how you have to clean a rabbit? Okay. Have you ever cleaned a rabbit or a squirrel before?
No. I just eat the roadside stuff. I don't clean it.
Okay. This guy just rips the motherfucking skin right off in one fell. I'm like, holy motherfucking mother of God, dude.
True professional.
Holy shit.
It was intense the first time we saw it.
Like, oh.
What?
I never learned that technique growing up. Damn, I didn't know it worked like that. Jesus Christ. Well, there goes our PETA friends, you know. Not pedo friends, PETA. Like, how do you say what does that stand for?
People for the ethical treatment of animals.
Accept it, bro.
What did you say, motherfucker?
I think
You're
he
too
said,
deep in. You just got to accept it, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're starting to dig that hole again, buddy. Maybe. I'm gonna go buy me a gun.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening to the episode. And
Yeah. Check us out on Patreon. Check out the Patreon episode. For more, I guess. No, I'm just JK and there is no Patreon. We do this shit for free because we love you. Subscribe, bitch. Okay? Mad love and respect.